We had the opportunity this time to build a set that was, contiguous, so that we were able to go from the bridge into a hallway, having seen inside the bridge, and not have to do a green screen thing or something. Continue that shot, go into that sort of plaza area, continue that beyond, and go around a corner, and there was the med. It allowed for, far greater depth in terms of, distances and walk and talks and things. And I just think it gives the ship a sense of it being, not just larger, which is kind of a fun little byproduct, but it being interconnected, so that you're not doing shots when someone enters an area, you're not just sort of catching them as they turn a corner. It may not be something that is even noticeable to a viewer, but to me it allows for that sense of reality and scale and connectivity. Kirk is the captain of this ship, but he's still that cocky guy who sort of feels like he can kind of charm and lie his way out of any situation. And what happens when you really put to the test? He's challenged at the beginning of this film by Pike, and what does that mean for him? And how far is he willing to go? The idea of all these characters at one point or another have their lives on the line, and it was a cool movie to sort of keep all these plates spinning. You've got a lot of characters you have to be, servicing. And as much as it seems to be, in many ways, Kirk's movie, the secret of this film, not unlike the first movie, is it's just as much Spock's film. And Spock's story, he is friends with this guy, and he's got, his relationship with Uhura, but, what is it like to be a friend? And when you're not completely human, and you've chosen to sort of live in this more logical and less emotional way, how are you a friend? And so as much as Kirk's learning how to really be a captain and earn the chair, Spock is learning how to be a friend. The truth is that the story is a far more nuanced story. In the first film, when they were up against Nero, they were up against a guy who was just really pissed off. In this movie, they're up against a lot more, and a lot more complex adversaries. So that in this film, unlike the first movie, you're really questioning, what do I do in this situation? It's a little bit more of a vicarious dilemma for people watching. The first film was, it's very clear who the bad guy is. I know exactly what's going on. I know exactly what I would want to do, basically destroy the bad guy. It was a very clear-cut situation. In this movie, there's much more of, I think, a sort of psychological drama going on, or the question of, where does your loyalty lie? Who do you trust? Once you have made that decision, how do you deal with the person you're up against? Who are you willing to ally yourself with to take action? How do the people who are your crew and family going to react to that choice? It's an infinitely more kind of complex and in some ways darker story than the first movie. With Benedict, he did exactly the same thing with this character. He came to the table with a whole new attitude, a whole new sort of personality and background and strength. But the thing about this guy is he's such an unbelievably watchable and compelling and powerful actor. And he had a lot to do in this movie. It wasn't just about how he speaks and about his background and where he's from. He had to do a lot of physical acting and fighting and stuff that he had never really done before.